Richard Carlton, creator of FMTrain.tv, where every day we're doing great FileMaker training and having lots of fun doing it. And I am glad you all are here with us through our journey. We are here at our normal broadcast location. If you want to support the channel, as a reminder, push the bundles button right here and just take out your credit card, buy 5 or 10 copies of these bundles here. That would be really great. That way I can pay Margaret and everyone's happy with that. Or if you've already bought a bundle, we greatly appreciate it. Just renew it when it comes up. That would be awesome. Pivoting to Christian Schmitz, who is now bored out of his mind. Christian Schmitz, say something important.
No, that's fine.
There he is. He's here. He is here
happy
now.
to be here.
All right, so let's move forward with learning about FileMaker. And what are we doing today?
We do have a question that I want to get for WJ Warner from YouTube about a totally different subject. He has kind of 3 back-to-backs. I'm going to copy it to Discord, but also read it out loud. Dealing with web viewer options, ? How to get data out of a browser, ? How to display filtered data in the UX, ?
So for WJ, I'm going to ask a clarification question. He's on about a 90-second delay with YouTube, so this might come up at some point, but when dealing with web viewer options, how do you get data out of the web viewer? I'm assuming when he says browser, because I think I'm assuming that, and how to display the filtered data that came out of the browser in a UX. There's a couple assumptions in there, WJ. If you could help us with that, would be really great. But if Christian wants to talk about basically scraping the data out of a web viewer, how do we do that?
This is a simple example which loads a website and then queries the text of the website. This is just using our get plain text function.
So web view, get plain text, works on Mac and Windows, I'm sure.
Yeah, Mac and Windows. And we have this useful isLoading function to just wait long enough that the web view actually is finished rendering the website. Which you should always copy this kind of loop. So we can now use defer here.
So back up. When you set variable, we're asking MBS, is it still loading? Is it still loading, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And the results
while
come
it's
back.
Loading,
so
while it's loading, we wait because we don't want to get the text of a half-loaded website.
Okay, so the result of this, if it's loading, is a 1. And when it's not, when it's done loading, it'll be something other than 1. It actually got it.
So I compare against unequals 1, because if the function returns an error, that's also in equals. So in case we have a script here with an error, like the web viewer doesn't exist, there is no web viewer named web, this script would exit immediately from the loop. That's always something you have to think about. If you write here equals 0, you may have an endless loop.
Okay.
So let's just swap out the website here. Let's say we load here. Okay. So we get here some interesting website, and we like to get some text out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like the title of the show today.
Okay.
So what we need is usually we need the inspector. To get the inspector, we get our documentation. There's something I have it turned on always, but so we have web preferences. So, but actually, yeah, you could do it in the browser. So set preferences. There is the option to turn on the developer access. So a line like this. If you run this once, it will turn on the context menu on a Mac to allow you to, in the browser here to get the inspect element command. And for Windows, we have a similar thing. Show DevTools. So this is for Windows to also show this panel with the developer tools, so you can actually inspect what's in the website while you are viewing it. So let's do that. Inspector here. So I'm on the FM Trainings website. I get shown here the content of the website with all the elements. And so I see here, this is the element I'm interested in. I like to get this text. So how would I do that? Well, I could, of course, first ask the company, like Christian, do you have a web API, which I could use to query your data?
Yeah, that would be too easy, right? Getting an API, right? So then we have to scrape it.
But that's
Before
always the first thing.
yeah,
Please
yeah.
ask for an API. So to get this element, we would have to see where it's coming from, what's the path to it. So let's see. We have a table. Sometimes you can identify the table with, let's say here, there's an element called live. That's a tab panel. And inside the tab panel, there are table entries. So I could just say, get me this element, then go inside, look for the first table, look for the first table data cell, and then let's see what text is inside. So I can type this here, document get element by ID, because this thing has an ID. See, I get the live element. Then get elements by tag name. Let's get the table data. And this gives me all the table data here. Then I pick the first one, which gives me the one for Thursday. And then I can say inner text and ask it for the text of this entry. This is here, the description text.
So WJ Warner was talking about, well, I've kind of got some custom functions that kind of do this. I'm wondering how I can make it better with MBS. So he's shown you some stuff here. WJ, if you have other specific questions, let us know. Maybe even if it's big enough, we bring it back on a different day and pick it up then, because scraping web viewers is not necessarily a trivial thing, and it's pretty common. A lot of people need to do it, right? In the old days, this was the only way to move data from website to website realistically. And with the advent of RESTful APIs, then this whole curl option calling thing with coming back with data from other services made this work. I remember someone, a event planning manager back in 1998, wanting the hotels to send us hotel booking records and stuff like that through the web like this. And the tech didn't exist, the APIs didn't exist. The only way we could do it was through an ODBC connection, which is, always my least favorite thing to do. So anyway, but this has gotten much better.
Yeah. With a lot of websites, you can just use insert from URL or curl functions to download the HTML of the page, use maybe the regex functions, or just position in FileMaker to find the text you're looking for. But otherwise, if you load it in the web viewer, because you maybe need to first do a login, or you have to click somewhere to have the website load the actual content by JavaScript, then you need the web scraping using the web viewer. And in this case, you have here a line like this for JavaScript to find the element on the page. Then you copy that and you go to FileMaker, and now you can use, for example, the data viewer to say MBS web view evaluate, and this can run a JavaScript expression in the web viewer and get you back the result right away. We got the evaluate function, so it's not like with FileMaker's JavaScript integration that you fire off some script to call a function, and then the function can call you back with a script trigger. This is directly evaluating, so it runs in the web viewer, the JavaScript, it gives you back the result instantly.
That is actually pretty awesome. WJ, hopefully that answers questions for you on this. Once again, I think it's potentially a bigger, larger topic. So if you have more detailed questions, please ask us. It goes for all of you. Clearly, Christian Schmitz is investing in our time and in our success, and we want to ask him questions and make sure that we spend the couple bucks to buy the product, because it is very inexpensive.
To complete this a little bit more, usually you would go and do this in steps. So for example, you would ask here, let's first go and find all this table data sections. And so we know we have 6 days here. So 6 days, and now then we can make a loop to just put in the JavaScript here the index of the element we want. No, this one is it. So say 1, and so we can show all the things, and then you can put them in your little whatever database.
All right.
That is very slick. Yeah, WJ, I think WJ said thank you. So I assume that you happened to nail exactly what he was looking for.
NJ is typing, how about filling what? Filling a web form. Oh, okay. I was thinking about yesterday with PDFs and forms. So NJ is saying, how about if we want to program a robot to fill out a web form for us so we could submit, to Claris, bug reports or something. I don't know. I mean,
so let's say we have a website with a form. Like, let's see here, my form on my website. Let's see, this is the form has a name, a register form, and the name is name.
okay.
So let's say here, data viewer again. Oh, this is so big here. So I want you to see the form. So web MBS, web view. Let's see, that form, maybe value. We have different functions. Oh, I want the parameters. Yeah. So it's a web view as web. The form was register form because I copied and pasted too much things. Name is a field. That's hello world. And don't care for this. Evaluate, and there's hello world.
Woo! So then how do we program it to automatically do the CAPTCHA at the bottom? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Not good for captures.
We need an AI and FileMaker that's going to solve CAPTCHA for us, so we can just spam things.
Usually you have to do more, like you have to actually run JavaScript to do things like tell the website that you actually changed the value in the form field. So let's see, run JavaScript here. We have some sample code here like this. This would identify the field by ID and then simulate running a change event on the field.
Okay, back up. I have a question here.
If there is JavaScript on the field, to validate the field, validate the form, and only allow you to submit if all the fields match some criteria, we would have to run JavaScript on each of the fields to actually have this JavaScript code run.
Okay, so back up. So when Monkeybread types into a field on our web viewer, it's not exactly the same thing as us typing in there because it doesn't trigger the JavaScript or other validation, correct?
Yeah. So if you click on it manually,
yes,
it will run a focus event. Then you have the focus on it. Then you type something. It will run an input event. It will run a changed event. And when you click away from it, it will run the focus lost event. So all these events run, and some JavaScript actually checks for it. So we had websites where we actually have to do this focus thing, so they would accept the value. Because if they would see that they are getting a change event without having focus on it, so
they would be suspicious of Ruben is what they would be. That would be being suspicious.
Also, it could be suspicious if you manage to fill the form in 1 millisecond.
Okay, so you might, yeah. So you might want to like slow it down a little bit and don't fill it in instantaneously. So, I feel a new career coming on as a malfeasance person who submits forms. Yeah, that's what people are wondering. Like, hey, why did Claris pull down their idea submission thing? And what it was is someone targeted it with some sort of like interesting robotic hack thing, whatever, and they were submitting all sorts of unsavory, not safe for work stuff to the Claris community for their idea thing, right? Yeah. So
usually you would say something like We moderate the first posting of a new user to make sure they don't spam the website and kick out everyone who's spamming, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But if you let anyone sign up and then post or something, yeah.
Oh, I know. We used to have a forum where we take starting point questions and stuff, and then one day it was very, very not safe for work, like bad. And so it caused a major panic, and we realized that we didn't want to be in the business of having a forum where we had to manage that. So there are forums out there, and we make sure that we have a little slice of space with them. That way we don't have to run our own. Otherwise, we have people submitting unsavory stuff. And some of you know what I'm talking about.
I can tell you a story. I once put in a hidden login form on a website. It was set to be invisible to the user. Nobody saw it, but it got targeted by a lot of bots.
Oh.
And I just had it write all the logins to a database so I could review it. And that was an interesting thing.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Okay. Christian does a great job with all of you folks. I greatly appreciate it. Any other? So tomorrow's gonna be on sorting. Much more basic day. Much more basic day tomorrow. And Christian gets the weekend off, which is excellent.
Yeah, everyone should try the new version, 14.1. Just released this week. Yeah, new MBS plugin. We'll have a live stream about this maybe in a week or two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll give you a day to put you on the schedule.
Yeah, and if anyone is in Spain next week for the FileMaker conference there, please say hello, as I'm going to visit it.
You're going to go visit. That's good. Good. Hey, can you get some pictures and send the pictures to us? We'll post them or let people know what it looks like or something.
Yeah, sure.
That would be great. Cool. All right. Well, I don't have anything else at the moment. I greatly appreciate it. It's 2:00, everyone. It feels like a Friday. I need a beer in my hand, but I don't have one. Anyway, that's it for now. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Thanks, Christian Schmitz. Awesome work.